Alrighty folks, welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft here on my server. Sim and I are hanging out today. Going to talk a little bit about power. Hi Sim, how you doing?
G'day, mate. G'day, folks.
Hey. Alright, so we are at my excavator and it's turning away, doing its thing based on my whole drone setup. We got some bituminous coal in here. I got 200 emeralds and I got 251. Actually, that's weird. Oh, 210. I thought it was like one off. 210 emeralds, 251 kimberlite. That's not the entire tally. I've had other stuff that I've brought back and forth a couple times. So it's doing its thing. And remember, we have a power line, HV power cable running from that all the way across, and up to our diesel generator. Which kind of works, but not really. Alright, so two things. Well, I don't know. A bunch of things. First of all, this guy puts out 4096 RF per tick, and that excavator takes 4096 RF per tick. So this generator can fully power that excavator and nothing else. It can't do any more. So for one thing, remember I had to put this energy cell over here because it was not transferring power across these cables for some reason. So when I log in now, this thing's like half, well, it depends on how long I've been offline, but this thing's somewhat uncharged, and it's basically just waiting for charge from the hydroelectric dam and from that windmill. That's it. So it charges up really slowly. Now if I want to charge it faster, I put an HV cable right there and a breaker right here. I can turn this on. Now what you can see here is right now that cable connector has 4096 RF per tick, or RF in it. It's got a little bit of internal storage, and this one has 0. Oh, wait. I'm not sure why it says 4000, but anyway, when I turn this on, we're now charging that energy cube over there, and now you can see it says 2048, 2048. So it has split that in half. So now I can charge the energy cube, which is okay, but now my excavator is running at half speed. So anyway, we got some power issues. The other thing is these drones can't keep up. So when I'm offline, they continue working. Chunk loading works fine. They do everything just fine. And I've added 3 bins, so we now have, 3 stacks of 4,000 plus the other 1,700 here in the chest, which is empty at the moment because I've been online. And that all basically just builds up in a queue so that when I get online, it can use that up. But the production is not fast enough to keep up with the requirements for the diesel itself. Biodiesel, that is. Alright, so I hinted last time that maybe we could do something better. Can you think of something better we could do, Sim? Oh, we lost
Can I
Sim.
think of something better?
Yeah,
Yeah, I might have a solution for you.
okay. So we're going to go see Sim's solution. Oh, on the way past, just to show, I have been bringing bins. Oh, it just emptied. There goes the. Oh no, that's the coal. Bins of bituminous coal over, throwing them through the enrichment chamber, enriching factory, because we can do 3 at a time. And they come up here. They actually go to a barrel, and then they're auto crafting into blocks of coal just for storage. And I now have 2,407 blocks of coal. So yeah, got a little bit of coal, but it's slow and inefficient, and only really works if we're online and near the base and all that stuff. So we want to do better. Let's go over to Sim's place and see if he can help us with something that could power a refrigerator. That's a joke. Yeah, heads
You'll
up.
probably
Go ahead.
you'll probably need to come over to my excavator to start.
Oh, alright. Still north of base?
Yep, straight out past the windmills.
I see you. I see you and nothing else over there. So while I'm gliding over there, just FYI guys, the teleporter and the refrigerator code was broken. It was supposed to be more expensive than normal. However, it got broken and basically it was super cheap. So the refrigerators that currently take 42 RF per tick, that was a mistake. That was not intended. And that's being fixed. So in the current version of the pack, 2.18, 3.18, whatever the next version is, it's been fixed and the refrigerators now take 270 RF per tick. So we're going to have to redesign, make a little bit more power than we were before. Alright, so here's Sim's excavator and a big white cube sitting next to it. What's up with this thing?
Well, my excavator runs on battery power.
Ba-
It's
what do you mean
portable.
battery power? It takes 4,096 RF per tick. You'd
Yeah,
have to have
so
the
you
battery the
put it.
size of a freaking mountain.
Well, no, you just have one that has 25 gazillion RF in it.
Okay,
I'm not
so
joking.
being a
There's
little silly,
25
guys.
gazillion RF in there.
But this is an induction cell battery thing.
Yep.
It's a multi-block, and get ready for this. Yes, 25.59 Giga RF, or gazillion RF if you prefer. So remember that the energy cubes have like millions of RF. These have billions of RF. How long will that power this for, by the way?
A long time. I couldn't tell you exactly because I've filled up all of my coal and it stopped running. I
Oh,
have recharged it once, but recharging it is really, really hard because all we really have to do is come over here and break out the power cell
oh yes,
and
yes. So
replace the one over at my main base,
right, so this is
which I
a
don't.
multi-block with the induction cells and providers and whatever inside there, right? All right. So
It's only got one cell in it actually.
okay. So how are we going to? That only has one cell.
Yeah. Just a small battery.
This is the little battery. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, how are we going to charge the little battery? I need to go get
No, we
a little
just
sip of water
break
on the way
out the
past.
empty cell and we come over here.
Go back to base. I'm just taking a sip out of the stream because that's probably pretty much the lowest tech thing I can think to do right now. Just having a little sip out the old stream here. That's nice. Alright. Now that we've had our sip, let's go see what Sim's got going on in his monster base. I think people have not seen all this. There are more towery things and more solar panels and more lots and lots and lots of things out here now. So, alright. Oh, I think we found the big battery.
Yep. Yep.
Oops.
So this is a slightly bigger battery. It has 2 induction cells in it. Yeah, I basically just swap one of the cells out and take it over to the excavator when required, which still leaves me with 25 gazillion RF to keep my base running. So,
Alright, so
it does okay.
I see with all the solar cells and windmills and all that stuff, you got like 4K RF per tick input, but that's
About
still
that.
less than the excavator takes.
True.
How are we going to charge this thing?
Well, don't you have a fusion reactor at your base?
No.
Oh,
I've got a
okay,
big
well,
farm and some drones that fly around and do stuff.
yeah, they're very cool. I'm rather impressed by your drones.
But they only sort of
But-
half work. So we're going to charge it with a fusion reactor. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we just come out here.
Okay. Now this is safe, right? I'm not going to get blasted in the face with radiation or anything?
Oh, maybe not.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so
this
yeah,
is a
walk us
Mekanism
through
fusion
this.
reactor.
Alright, so we've got reactor frame, reactor glass. What's on the edges? These are I/O reactor ports, exactly.
And a reactor controller on the top.
And a controller on the top. Okay, cool.
Have a look inside. You'll see that there's some buttons down the left, and they tell us the heat that's been generated in the form of plasma and the amount of RF that it's outputting. It's currently not doing anything because I only turn it on when I need it. It requires DT. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
where's my deuterium?
Oh, we have to fix your deuterium.
Where is my deuterium?
Well, this will give us a good chance to just talk for a minute about how you make deuterium and tritium. Tritium in order to get the VT fuel to make this thing actually run. So,
water flow's done its fun and games again.
Oh,
Let
so we've
me
got disappearing source blocks, guys, and you hear the pistons popping every once in a while. They're trying to make a water update and trying to fix it, sort of. But it's not
reliable.
100%. Let me see if I've got... Oh, I've got a bucket, but I don't have any water in the bucket.
I've got a bucket.
I bet you do. So down there you got a liquid hopper. Well, that should be outputting.
Yeah, it normally does work, but the problem is when the water blocks reform at the moment, they don't always form up properly. Let me just grab some extra water.
Yeah, so we're having problems when you like restart the server and stuff. It's not working. So what is supposed to happen here is this liquid hopper is supposed to output water into the world, and then you need a block update to force these to reform source blocks, but it's sort of broken at the moment, so we'll just have to manually fix this up.
Yeah. Oops, let me just grab another bucket of water and we should be good.
Alright. Anyway, so yeah, well, Sim's working on that. So we have Minecraft water, aka, let's do this, deionized water, and that is being sucked up by red alloy wire. No, that's being sucked up by electric pumps from Mekanism, and you need these because you have to put a filter upgrade in that turns regular water into heavy water.
Correct.
So we use Minecraft, aka deionized water, to make heavy water. Heavy water comes out of here, or comes out of these pumps, and they're working hard to catch up right now, and goes into this separator, which makes, well, oxygen's the byproduct, and then it also makes, what does it make?
In here it's producing deuterium. Okay,
and that's heading, it's all going straight into here, so we're not seeing it in the pipes and stuff. There we go.
It's basically, it's...
So we've got 1,000 deuterium in there, and now it's going to start filling up pipes and the gas tank and all that. Yeah, alright. So that's how you get deuterium. How do we get the tritium?
The tritium's
that's over here, isn't it?
a little bit more painful.
Yeah.
The tritium requires 2 of the solar evaporation units. So you need 1 that's producing brine, which is the larger one because you need a lot of brine.
Yep.
Alright, so this one.
So it chews through the brine in no time, right?
Yep.
So we've got one of these over at my base, whatever. And that's taking water, making it into brine. And then you're taking brine and going...
We pump the brine into another solar evaporation plant.
Oh, okay.
And it outputs tritium.
Liquid lithium.
Oh, sorry, liquid lithium. Dirt.
Alright, so we get liquid lithium from here, and then we output that into a...
First we need to make it gaseous, so we have to run it through a condensator.
So we go from liquid to gas, and then we take the gas and pipe it into... Solar
neutron activator.
Sure. And that converts it into tritium. Okay. That makes complete sense. And I take it these run on, since it says solar, these run on power. Sunlight. Yes, this is solar power.
During the day. They're not ridiculously fast, so I've got multiple banks of them, and then all of these tanks, so I've got a buffer.
So you got lots in there. Okay, good.
Now, the thing is, to start the reaction, you need some DT fuel, and DT fuel is the combination of deuterium and tritium. You can pump DT fuel directly into the reactor, but it's more efficient to pump the 2 separate components in, but you still need to be able to start the reactor. And to do that, you need a hole ROM. And if you duck down there, you'll see that there's a barrel.
Oh, okay.
Alright. The empty hole ROMs, they're pretty cheap to make. They're just some gold and I think osmium dust, if my memory serves me correctly.
Carbon and gold, it looks like. So, yeah, gold dust and carbon or charcoal or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need one of these?
Yeah, you're going to need one of those because you're going to need to take out of the chemical
Woo.
infuser above. There should be a full
Okay,
one. So if you
okay, in
take the
here.
full one out and pop an
Ah.
empty one in.
Oh, okay. So you've got, just for this purpose, you've got some of the deuterium coming over here, and the tritium coming over here to make actual DT, which apparently is what fills this. Aha! Okay. Why does that say it's at 9? 9 instead of 10.
I'm not sure what you mean by 9 instead of 10.
If you look in the, never mind, it was just a multiplayer sync glitch, I guess. It didn't seem to fill all the way. Minor detail. Okay. So that's just to get the thing started. And then where are you piping in fuel?
Okay.
Oh,
So
right.
fuel,
This connects, doesn't it? This gas tank actually connects, even though it doesn't look like it, right? For the tritium side?
Yeah. The gas tanks, the output does connect. It just doesn't render as a connection.
Got it. Okay. So you are you're giving it the tritium from here. And you're giving it the deuterium from here. And we are getting a backlog going. Good. Alright, now what do we do?
Okay, well, first thing you need to do is you need to put the whole ROM into the reactor.
Okay. Oh, well, right. I was going to say which tab, but nope. Looks like it's right there. Okay.
Yep. Okay, and that will be enough fuel to kickstart the reaction, but we can't kickstart the reaction without a massive amount of power.
Well, of course. That makes sense.
So we have a laser array set up here.
Okay, so you got lasers that have, well, they're currently unpowered, but they have 3.2 million RF capacity each, it looks like. Oh! That turned them on!
Yep.
Oh, you got 4 of them. You got one on the back, too.
Recharge them after we finish. Now, the thing is that what we're doing is we're pumping all of the laser energy into this laser amplifier, and it gets stored up. And at the moment, you can see it's got a large amount of energy in there.
2 billion RF. Wow.
Now, you don't need any more than 500 million RF to kickstart a fusion reaction.
Oh, okay.
But this laser amplifier will output everything it's got if you don't have it controlled.
All right.
The best way I found to control it was to set it up with a big button, because I can set the timing on the big button so that it only activates for a fraction of a second. I think it's 1 tick. And that will allow it to just output 500 million, which is what we need to trigger this. Now, it's probably, because it happens so quick, if you stand back, I'll hit the button, because you won't be able to hit the button and see the laser at the same time.
Because, yeah, you got it set for just like 1 tick or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, just to save power.
Okay, before we start it, is it shift right click, open hand to look in the big button?
I cannot recall.
I think it is. Oh, okay, let's start it up first, and I'll look later. Alright.
So, yeah, I'll give the button
hit the button!
And that's it.
I didn't even see the laser. But there it goes. Okay, so the laser shot out of the laser amplifier, and it started up the reactor. And let me, yeah, shift right click. So you just put one item in here to make it run for 1 tick.
Yep.
Got it. And now we have the weirdest matrix reactor reaction thing ever. But what's it doing?
Producing a little bit of power.
Okay. So that's, yeah, that used, right, 500 million RF. 500 million. It used 500 million RF, no big deal. And now, I suppose if we look in here, we could see, what, heat? Oh yeah. So our plasma temperature is up now. 137 million Kelvin. Okay. And our case temperature is going up.
Okay. Now, one of the things you need to note is that in the second tab down, the one below the heat, the fuel tab,
you
have an injection rate.
Yeah.
That injection rate determines how quickly the fuel goes into the reactor.
Okay.
It has to be set at a minimum of 2 to maintain a sustained reaction. You can set it higher if you've got enough fuel coming in, and it will make an hotter reaction, which will give you more power. So if we go back up to the heat tab, you'll see that we have plasma, which is currently heating up to about 150 million Kelvin.
Yeah.
That then generates heat in the case, which then generates power in the far left. You can see the white arrows. It also has the option of generating steam from deionized water. And I believe this thing will run about 64 big reactor turbines by itself if needs be. But we don't need to do that, because we're getting enough power as is out of this. And you can see that it's currently producing, it's not quite at maximum temperature, it's pretty close. 194,000 RF per tick.
94,000 RF per tick. So the reactor takes 4,000. So you get an extra 190,000 just laying around after you run. Did I say reactor? Excavator.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot of power.
Yeah. So I have some big batteries.
So it makes 200,000 RF per tick. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
And if we were to convert it to water cooled, it could produce 75 buckets of water per tick. 75,000 millibuckets of. I'm looking in the statistics tab now. Yeah. Well, that would probably power. I'm gonna go look in your battery now. That would probably power an excavator or 5, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there we go. Input 199 kRF per tick. And it's still barely moving the induction matrix power meter.
Oh yeah.
It's like 0.01 every 5 seconds or something. Okay. So that's a ridiculously large battery that actually only has 2 cells in it apparently.
Yeah.
And this isn't a ridiculously powerful, scary reactor. That makes some power. You are not kidding.
Seriously, I mean, it was necessary. I heard about the changes they made to the fridge, and I'm not sure whether I have enough power to actually keep a couple of fridges running.
I know, with the fridge, we may have to actually like have a couple of dedicated reactors just to the refrigerators. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that may be the best option here.
Well, we're joking a little bit, but yeah, the fridges are going to be a little more expensive. Apparently, back in the day when they first put those changes in, it was actually like over 1,000 RF per tick for a full refrigerator. So, yeah, 270 is not horrible. It's doable. It's in the doable range, maybe without a fusion reactor.
Yeah, no, there are enough other power options around.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about power, I think we've got a minute. Did you do the Steam thing? Is that still a thing, or did it?
No, because that kept blowing up.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so I did have
what's left down here? Oh yeah, you got some.
Yeah, I've put it back together a couple of times because I can produce ridiculous amounts of creosote, but the problem is that when it comes to server shutdowns and restarts, yeah, there are issues with this, and somehow or another, I haven't quite figured out why yet, but it will temporarily run out of water, and when it doesn't have any water and it's producing heat, and then you add water back to it, it explodes.
That's the Railcraft, yes.
Yes. And there's more than enough water to keep it powered, full of water at all times. But something happens when
some
it
glitch
reloads.
when the server restarts or the chunk loads or something like that.
Yep.
But
and the water disappears and then gets pumped in, and the thing goes
Yep.
boom.
Well, it's the same thing we were just looking at up with your fusion reactor. Those source blocks are missing for some reason. It's like they don't reform properly. So I haven't made the IE coke oven though. This looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad, and it's about twice as fast as the railcraft one. So
Oh, nice. And then you
it
just
helps to keep
pumping all
this
your
thing going.
creosote into a big old tank, which is full because why not? And okay, so then the other option, instead of going liquid fueled boilers and a huge boiler tank which can explode, your other option is oh, the frame rate. Come on, get up here. Your other option is, come on, the industrial steam. Oh, yeah, no, those don't work, do they? You have to have the steam to go into these, don't you?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
The turbine that actually goes with railcraft doesn't work in this pack, unfortunately. There's some issues
It only
between
makes
it and
railcraft
obviously,
power or something like that.
yeah. But the steam will power these generators without any problems, and they will put out a reasonable amount of power. And the whole point of this was for one thing and one thing only, to use up the creosote oil, because I hate things going to waste, and creosote doesn't have many options.
Yep.
I could probably run this thing permanently if I place the liquid fueled boilers with solid fueled boilers, because I've got enough coke coal to run them.
That's true. Just go
but then
cold coke
I'm
directly, yeah.
back with the same problem of too much creosote.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, okay, so for these to run, you've got to give them steam. The only way to get the steam is with a liquid-fueled boiler. Well, not the only way, but from here, liquid-fueled boilers which explode if they're hot and you feed them. If they go empty, they're hot, and then you give them water. They explode.
That's, exactly
which unfortunately seems to just kind of happen. Hey, this is too deep. Interesting.
And I've tried all the different pump options that are available.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But yeah, it's
That's
just
a bummer.
just one of those things.
Yep. All right, well, cool. I guess we've looked at a couple of different power options here. I see. Why do we have a solar generator over here, by the way?
The solar generator
Just because?
over here, I needed somewhere to stick a spare one.
Just because. Okay, good. That is as good a reason as anything. So, all right. So your base is basically set up. You've got the original IE. Okay, let's just hover. The original IE windmill, the improved windmill, the water wheels in the back, the mechanism wind turbines, right? The solar panels, the railcraft power systems, and the fusion reactor. Did I miss any?
No, that pretty much covers it all.
And some really, really big batteries.
And really, really big batteries.
Got
I
it.
like my batteries. They're very cool.
All right. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with all that information, but thanks for the tour and the tutorial on the Mekanism fusion reactor. Because we all need hundreds of thousands of RF per tick to run our refrigerators now.
That's right.
All right. Enough messing around. Thanks a lot, Sim. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting a little tour and seeing how all this stuff works again. That's it for this episode. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, Sim.
See you, folks.
Bye, Sim. I lost you. All right. Bye, Sim.
Bye-bye.